Hey guys, listen, give me 5 minutes and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your lives. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Welcome back to Tasha's Corner, and I'm excited to get back with you guys and finishing our series on the book that we've been diving into, which is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. If you haven't already gotten your copy, please do so immediately. There is so much to learn, so much conversations to be had, and of course, why not want to learn so you can get rich, right? Nothing can happen without you, of course. You learning these things and you actually putting them into practice. So today I will be reading from some of my notes and also be reading from some chapters as we get into the 17 wealth files. We will only do the first 7 and we'll break this video into 2 parts to help us understand more and create more conversation. We will start with wealth file number 1. Rich people believe I create my life and poor people believe life happens to me. If you are the type of person who believes that life just happens to me, oftentimes it means that you agree that you are not in control of your life. You may find that you use blaming your circumstances, your background, where you came from. You may want to justify your circumstances, right? Or you may just complain about it, never finding an actual solution to how to get you out of this issue. Let me put it bluntly. Anyone who says money isn't important doesn't have any. Rich people understand the importance of money and the place it has in our society. On the other hand, poor people validate their financial ineptitude by using irrelevant comparisons. They'll argue, well, money isn't as important as love. Now, is that comparison dumb or what? What's more important, your arm or your leg? Maybe they're both important. Listen up, my friends. Money is extremely important in the areas in which it works, and extremely unimportant in the areas in which it doesn't. And although love may make the world go round, it sure does not pay for the building of any hospitals, churches, or homes. It also doesn't feed anybody. Not convinced? Try paying your bills with love. Still not sure? Then pop on over to the bank and try depositing some love and see what happens. I'll save you the trouble. The teller will look at you as if you've just gone AWOL from the loony bin and scream only one word: security! Simply put, money is an important tool. And the moment you realize that is the moment that you will act as such and instead figure out how to make that tool work for you instead of you working hard for that tool. A construction worker uses his tools, right? But his tools don't use him. His tools cannot serve its purpose without him using that tool. It's the same thing with money. Once you understand the concept of money and you understand that money is a tool to get you the things that you desire. Here is wealth file number 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose. This might seem a little strange in the wording. So let me try and break it down for you. To not lose their what? Their house, their cars, or just the material things that we possess. Maybe not lose the insurance, which we do need, right? Health insurance, to not lose benefits, to not lose in the things that they've acquired. Survival doesn't equal comfort. Even though some people might think that they're comfortable in surviving, you're gonna see that you're putting more effort trying to survive than ensuring that you truly live comfortably, meaning not truly worrying about finances. Which sounds better? Having peace of mind with your finances or always being at an unease and unrest. If your primary concern is survival and security instead of creating wealth and abundance, then your target goal will always remain low. Always aim higher than your target goal so that you can actually get to your goal. Sometimes aiming higher will actually help you to reach the actual goal that you, realistically speaking, that you should be achieving. Only because you're not placing limitations on what you can do. Here is wealth file number 3. Rich people commit to being rich, but poor people want to be rich. At his Millionaire Mind intensive seminar, one of the questions that he asked people are, what are some of the possible negatives about being rich or trying to get rich? Here are some of the answers, and see if you can relate to any of these. What if I make it and lose it? Then I'll really be a failure. I'll never know if people like me for myself or for my money. I'll be at the highest tax bracket and have to give half my money to the government. It's too much work. I could lose my health trying. My friends and family will say, who do you think you are? Everyone's going to want a handout. I could be robbed. My kids could be kidnapped. It's too much responsibility. I'll have to manage all that money, and I'll have to really understand investments. There are some negative wealth files that we store in our mind, either because we've heard it from people and are just repeating it, or it's because we truly believe that this is part of the reason why we cannot get rich. Let me know if you can relate to it in the comments below. The truth, however, is that most people do not want to be rich because they have a lot of negative wealth files in their subconscious mind that tell them there is something wrong with being rich. The number one reason why most people don't get what they want is because they actually don't know what they want. Rich people are clear and intentional that they want wealth. They have an unwavering desire for it. If you are not achieving the wealth you say you desire, then two things can be true at the same time, or one or the other. Here's one. You subconsciously don't really want wealth. And it could be for any one of those reasons that I listed prior. Or two, you are not willing to do what it takes to create it. When we talk about what we want, then we can actually break it down into 3 levels. I want to be rich, I choose to be rich, I commit to being rich. If you chose 3, then you are definitely on the right track. Commitment is a part of understanding that you have that control in making a decision. And a lot of times, people cannot commit to trying to be wealthy. They haven't truly decided that they can be wealthy. Not convinced? Let's move on to wealth file number 4. Rich people think big, but poor people think small. According to the law of income, it states, you will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. The key word here is value. And the 4 factors that determine value in a marketplace, especially in your business, is 1, supply, 2, demand, 3, quality, and 4, quantity. When you talk about supply, you want to ask questions like, what is it that I can give? And that should go back to your talents, your natural gifts, natural abilities, or things that actually you've been complimented for. And demand, what is it that people are asking for? Like, for an example, trash. Everybody needs someone to pick up their trash. There's always going to be a demand for people picking up trash. Granted, you could probably burn it up, but I'm sure not a lot of people are willing to do that, and they're not in a space where they're able to do that. But these are some of the things that people demand. Next, quality. How valuable will your service be to others in your community and others around you? And also quantity. How much of your service can you provide to your market? And that brings me to wealth file number 5. Rich people focus on opportunities while poor people focus on obstacles. Imagine you were let go of a high-paying job. What would your response be? If you said, well, maybe it's time to take a leap of faith and begin on an opportunity that's been weighing on my heart, then now you are thinking rich. Your outcome will be defined by your reaction. If you lose a job, that can also be an open door that will push you actually to do exactly what you were meant to do. Sometimes losing, it does not mean that you actually lost. If you've had an idea that you've just been sitting on and it's just been tugging at you, that might have been the opportunity to do it. Don't always see a loss as a bad thing. Sometimes, just sometimes, it may be your calling and it may be pushing you in that direction. So if you feel that urge, I strongly advise you to seek God. Ask him, what is your will for my life? And if that is it, and he's been talking to you and you haven't done it, and I can say that there's times where I too have to take that leap of faith and truly believe in myself, believe in my gifts, believe in my talents, that it will make a way for me, as you should. Every one of you should believe that what you possess is not the same thing that anyone else possesses. And no one can do it the way you do it. It is truly unique to you. I'm not saying that you're going to be without obstacles, as God didn't say that we would have a life without obstacles. But if you see there's an opportunity for growth, I would say use that time to grow. Use that time to study your craft, master it, and grow. You have the power to choose obstacle or opportunity. And if you keep choosing obstacles, then you will always be faced with obstacles and you will never know how to get out of it. But if you choose opportunity in the obstacle, it will make you better for it. Here is wealth file number 6. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. It is not every day that you have the opportunity to meet a wealthy or a rich person. I always say to people is that you can either learn good or you can learn bad things from people. Because as we're talking about negative wealth files, we have to push away the bad and take in the good. It's such a great thing to work a job because in it, you can learn how corporations manage, how did they grow, how do they operate. Every job gives you an opportunity to learn, and that's how I truly see life. I am the student in this life. I am a student. I'm learning each and every day. When I homeschool my child, I am learning things that I did not know. I'm learning new ways to do things. I am just learning and I absorb it all. But you don't want to just absorb it. You want to also pour out what you've learned. You want to be able to give it back to your community, give it back to your church, give it back to others, and not just keep it for yourself. Don't get too prideful. Don't ever think that you can never learn something from someone. Don't ever think that you're above it all. You still can learn something from someone, good or bad, like I've mentioned. But of course, take the good, reject the bad, and learn what you can to better yourself and to be the best version of yourself. In a world where AI is taking over, it is definitely more important to learn everything you can because things are changing before our very eyes. Things may get scarier and scarier, and you really might have to figure out new ways to do things. Just like science is changing, science just does not stop evolving with new information. So if scientists have to keep on reshaping their thinking on the very thing that they've studied and mastered, then why are we limiting our ability to understand how money works for us, how it can truly serve a purpose in our lives, and not just our lives, also think about others. How can we, truly make a better tomorrow, a better future for our children and our children's children for generations to come? Even a license requires you to continue education because things change. A lot of rules change, a lot of stipulations change, a lot of ways that we did or the ways that we do things now can change within the future. They might find that, listen, in the time that we're in, this no longer serves its purpose. It's also good to revisit your goals and make adjustments as needed. We all know the scripture, for the love of money is a root of all evil. Unfortunately, it has been twisted to mean that money is evil, but that would be insane. If it is evil, then why do you even go to work? Why do you give up your precious time in exchange for the very thing that you call evil? Conwell's passage in the book on page 90 makes an excellent point. And here he says, money is power, and you ought to be reasonable, ambitious to have it. You ought, because you can do more good with it than you can without it. Money printed your Bibles. Money builds your churches. Money sends your missionaries. And money pays your preachers. I say then, you ought to have money. If you can honestly attain unto riches, it is your godly duty to do so. It is an awful mistake of these pious people to think you must be awfully poor in order to be pious. With that being said, I will move on to wealth fall number 7. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. Rich people are always grateful that others have succeeded so that they now have a blueprint to follow. This kind of makes me chuckle because I think of high school, when kids used to cheat. They were extremely happy that the person before them did all the work so that they can easily take their work and copy it. In a sense, this helped them to understand that they did not have to do all the work, even though they should have, but they can just take and copy what someone else already did in their hard work, their hard effort, and replicate it to make their system work for them. Modeling is one of the primary ways that people learn. For example, in school, it's easy to learn something when it's modeled before you. It's easier for you to have the understanding when it's attainable. Take sports as an example. Coaches don't just study other teams just because they have nothing else to do, or they just want to waste time, right? But they study them because they're studying their opponents. They want to see where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are so that they can do better, so that they can win. It's the same thing with boxing. Opponents study each other. It's not for no reason. If you're a boxing fan, then you'll know that opponents will study each other so that they can also see what is the strength of that person. What is their weakness? Because they have to make sure that they come in ready to fight, but ready to win. They don't come with the mindset of, I'm going to lose. And I oftentimes watch, not because I want to, but because I see my husband watching it on TV of boxing matches and the back and forth that they end up doing on TV. And I keep telling myself, why do they go back and forth? Just why, right? But it's in a sense to build up that they're going to win. They're coming there. They're letting you know off rip, off the jump, that they're coming in to take that title. They're coming in to win. They're not leaving empty-handed. And that's the same mindset that we need to have when it comes to our finances. We are not supposed to leave empty-handed. You want to win with your finances. Don't let your finances win over you. No one's perfect. We're all on this train of trying to figure out how to make our lives work for us. And a lot of times we're just not taught these things. I know I wasn't taught a lot about money. And as I'm learning and I'm growing, I'm grateful that I've had opportunities to learn more and more about money, opportunities to read the books and hear it from the people who have it and still are maintaining it. They obviously must be doing something right. So it's good to know. It's good to understand so that I can also better. What am I doing wrong? Is it my habits? Is it my thinking? What is it that I can contribute positively to help me maintain the money I have, but not just to maintain it, to grow it. But that growth comes with you. If you grow yourself, your money will grow too. It will increase because you're going to be putting it into action, putting it into practice, not just absorbing the information, but actually displaying it out. Side note, if it is not ethical, legal, or morally sound, please do not replicate what those people do. I'm not saying that everyone that's wealthy is doing the right thing, because truly I would be lying to you if I did say that. The people that are successful, what good habits do they have? Because at the end of the day, you do have to have good money habits. Are you spending too much? Are you saving too much too? Because that also can be a bad thing. If you're not investing in the right things to grow your money, just maintaining money is not enough. If you want to truly live comfortably, and comfortably can look like anything for everyone, right? It can look different. But what does looking comfortably look like to you? Is it just being able to pay your bills and to just be comfortable? Or is it being able to leave something up behind, maybe a legacy for your children, so that they can also be comfortable? What does that look like for you? Make sure you're always in God's will. I am not telling to do exactly what someone else did or follow exactly what they did, only to examine the blueprint that was placed before you as a model so you can see what's the best way to do it. Sometimes it may take you more time to hear what God is telling you, but stay hopeful, stay prayerful. God says, pray without ceasing. Pray without end. Don't stop praying, because you never know if the devil is fighting the Lord or you in your goals, in your dreams. If you don't think he is, think again. He's going to fight you for what God is trying to do for you, good for you. The people of Israel were enslaved for about 400 years, and God revealed that to them prior. So it's not like this is hidden knowledge, but they were enslaved and God set them free. If you don't think that we have an enemy here on this earth that comes to steal, kill, and destroy, then you certainly have gotten this thing all wrong. We will always face obstacles, but in the obstacles, what are you saying to yourself about yourself? What are you doing that will make the difference for you and your family? Are you just going to stay in your circumstance and give up and throw your hands up and say, you know what, this life isn't meant for me, I'm just not lucky? Whatever it is that is just a negative, please cast that aside. Pray without ceasing, because the enemy is at war with your purpose. He is at war with your destiny. And if you continue to agree with the devil, you will have what the devil wants for your life. Do not let him win. Do not give him room. Use this time, guys, in the time of your obstacles, to get close to God. Draw unto him. Let him talk to you, just like you would call your parents or whoever you're close with and just talk to them and say, hey, I'm going through this. This is what I'm facing. Because you're looking for a place to vent, or you're looking for an answer. He will answer you. It might take more than a week for you to receive your answer. It might take more than a few days. But lean unto him and lean not unto your own understanding. He will make your paths clear. He knows what you're supposed to do, right? And I'm certain he wants to make sure you know it too. You have to make sure that your thoughts line up with God's thoughts. His wills and plans for your life, he wants to see it come into fruition. But are you getting in the way of yourself? Are you allowing your thoughts to not be held captive? God says, hold those thoughts. Just hold them captive. Your thoughts are getting in the way of you. And when you're letting the enemy win, you are going to get what the enemy wants for your life, which is his vision and not God's vision. Don't let him win, friends. Don't let him infiltrate your mind. You are better than that. And I know and I believe. And I love to see people winning. I truly do. I love to see when people are just at their best version, just performing. Because I know that God's going to do it for me too. I don't have to be jealous or envious of anyone. Because what God has for me, I know I will get that, right? If I believe, if I have faith, if I keep pressing on, not giving up, not be weary. But just stay on that path that God has for you. Don't look left, don't look right. He will make your path straight. His ways and his thoughts are higher. He knows better. Not your friends, not your mom. And I know sometimes we just want to lean onto the next person to vent or to get that inspirational, to get that whatever you need from them. But a lot of times we forget that God is the one who inspires us. God is the one who puts the desires of man in their heart. You know, that is of God's will, not evil desires, but good things, good and fruitful things. Please make sure that you're seeking him every day, even through your circumstance, and especially now more than ever with a lot of things that are going on in the world that may be scary for you and your family. Seek him. Guys, I'm excited. I am joyful. I am content, even in my circumstance, and I hope that you are too. I am excited to get into the next set of the wealth files that we will be doing on the next videos. And also, I want to make sure that we're revisiting our goals that we've set aside for our vision board. So I will make some videos on that as well after we finish our series of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Are you guys ready? Please be sure to comment anything below about what were your negative thoughts. What did you do to overcome them? What are some habits that you're creating, and what have you learned so far from this book? What do you agree with? What don't you agree with? I want to hear from you guys and see, you know, what this book is inspiring you guys to do differently. Guys, until next time, I look forward to hearing from you. Be sure to comment, to like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video on Tacha's Corner. Bye guys! Support me on Amazon. Look me under Natasha the Raw and you'll see all the books that I've made. Be sure to support, and I'll put the link below.